Hi, I'm Greg from California Ski Company.
Hey, and I'm Greg from California Ski Company.
And what do you have here?
Dude, check it out. These are my one ways.
Your one ways.
Those are the ones like you got at the Fisher thing. And I just got my new orange one, so I'm gonna do like one orange, one gray.
Whoa.
So these are cool. So these poles, they come, I don't know how long they are. Probably 56s or whatever. You can be 6'8", and just put the grip on there. You just cut them to whatever length you want. And then you can buy different grips, different baskets, mix and match. I actually put some orange Lakey baskets on these because I wanted the orange, and I'm going to use the orange grips with the gray and the gray with the orange, and I might use one left, one right. Yeah. Anyway, but they're cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
I mean, I think the new one ways are cool. They feel really light actually for what they are.
Yeah.
Is the GTX, is there like a blend here? Is that like aluminum?
It's aluminum. I mean, these are sort of their price point pole. They're nothing super fancy, but there's the style's cool. It's sort of IKEA, Swedish. I don't think they're from Sweden, but I know they're big in Europe, and their Fisher now owns, I think, One Way, and they're going to be distributing them in the U.S.
Yeah, and it's really cool. You can sort of mix and match. I mean, you put purple grips on them and orange baskets.
Yeah. But poles, I mean, like we sell so many poles, and we sell poles from $60 to $250.
Yeah.
And what is there? What's different about from one pole to another?
Well, I guess you have different materials, sort of like what you get in skis. You have aluminums, lightweight aluminums, carbons, adjustable poles, of course. There's a lot in poles. It's not just like, hey, here's my stick for skiing. It's,
And I know carbon's popular. Is it just because they're thin and look cool, or?
I think people just like the swing weight. I think they like being able to have something that almost feels non-existent.
Yeah.
And still supports them.
I noticed my wrist can get sore with a stiff pole too, and something about the carbon, it absorbs vibrations, and I feel pretty good.
Yeah, and they have a little flex and bend to them as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and without breaking.
Yeah.
Aluminum poles, they bend.
They do tend to bend.
Yep. And then these don't have them. I know, like some of the more expensive poles that we sell have the carbide tips.
Yeah.
Which, man, for sure in ice, like when you're trying to use your poles, it works way better than this. So, and this has the grip kind of like the Lakey, right? Where it's weird. Like with the Lakey, remember how they used to come out and be bent?
Yep.
So then everybody knew, like, there's like a bend in that pole. What's going on? And you could explain why they did it, to get it so that, I guess they did studies, and you look where you're going to plant. You plant your pole there, and with Lakey, you didn't have to cock your wrist as much, so less work, less fatigue on your wrist. But now, here's another company. They're doing it a different way, but it's sort of like the pole just kind of comes out of the grip at a different angle, which is sort of what Lakey's been doing now.
Yeah, the Lakey does those, about 6 degrees?
I think so, yeah. And I know Lakey also has their patented trigger, which we sell a lot of trigger poles, and I use them, and the gloves that snap in.
Yeah.
I like that system. So it's interesting, people come in and they just, pole's a pole, and to a certain extent, it's so true. You can pick up a stick on the side, and they're just sort of rhythm sticks. Anything would work, but some poles have a lot more features than others, and I tell people, you may never own a Lamborghini, but for a couple $100, I mean, for $150, you can buy a pole that's really cool. It has, cork grip and skinny knot, carbon fiber and a carbide tip and, everything.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I like to definitely talk to people about and tell them is make sure it's comfortable in your hand. Every pole, every company sort of has a different grip. I mean, some have like ridges for each one of the fingers.
Yeah.
Others have more of just like a trigger feeling.
Right.
And even some of those poles like Line did for a while, they're just sticks.
Yeah, and they had like bike grips on them.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And one thing I like for sure is rubber instead of plastic. Some of the
Definitely.
cheap poles use plastic, and it's just too slippery.
Yeah, I definitely tell people that I think rubber is the base you want to go for. Probably instead of just doing like the basic pole, just step up one. Because that plastic, it hurts after a few hours.
Well, it kind of goes like basic pole with plastic, and then you get, like with Lakey, you get a dual density grip for about $60. So you get plastic with rubber on the outside, and then you go up to $100, and you get a carbide with aluminum, and then 150, and you get the carbon fiber, and you can draw the line somewhere, but at each step you do get a better pole.
Yeah.
So.
And when do you change your baskets?
I actually I have more than one set of poles, right? I have my powder poles, and they're actually a little longer. And I used to run an adjustable pole, so on powder days I put on a powder basket and run them a little bit longer. But now I just have like my non-powder days and my powder day ones. We have so many different Lakey baskets. I have the ones that tilt, so that they're giant.
Those are cool.
They're giant, and they work great. So with this one's really easy, right? So this is actually a Lakey, and it just unscrews. So it takes a second, but off it comes. And with the small, they always come with the small ones, right? Because when you swing them, they feel so much lighter. I mean, this feels so much lighter than having the big basket. It doesn't seem like it would make a big difference, but it really does.
It does.
And there it's on. So it's not hard to do. I kind of feel like everyone that buys a pole should buy a powder basket, because on a powder day, if you don't have a powder basket, you might as well just pull a stick off the tree.
Certainly. And I'm a big fan of adjustable poles, even when I'm not touring.
I like them.
Sometimes I like to shorten it, like while I'm skiing, but I want it longer when I'm in line.
Yep. And it may seem weird, but to me, there's something about mine are aluminum up here and then carbon, and there's some overlap, so they're not quite as whippy. I'm pretty tall, so as the poles get longer, they get sort of softer. And having the aluminum here with just the lighter swing weight, it feels as light as my old carbon poles. Now, pretty much, but it's definitely a little bit stiffer. Still has shock absorption, and I travel so much to ski. They pack smaller.
Yeah. I mean, even the ones that collapse to throw in your bag, they're not just for split boarders and snowboarders. Like, they're great for travel.
Totally. Yeah, need a quiver of poles.
You do need a quiver of poles.
Buy a quiver of poles. Cool. All right.